Welcome to Sex Talk Radio, a podcast that explores kink and sex through candid and curious conversations. Join me and expert guests in exploring taboos and unpacking what it means to be sex and kink positive.
It's kind of like eating cake every day. And then I go back home and it's like, if they have like a full-time job and they still make time in their week to see me, that's like a validating feeling. Like
you want to feel special.
Yeah, right. Like they like spending time with me. It's valuable to them. So I like
cute.
that.
I recently squirted for the first time and it was a lot of liquid. That's why I'm so glad that I've since found Splash Blanket. They create incredible waterproof blankets for all types of fluids. They have them in a bunch of different sizes and textures, and they are truly incredible and very absorbent. Go to splashblanket.us and use code SEGGS for 15% off of your entire order. Lube is important for a lot of different sexual experiences, whether it is solo play or partnered play. It can enhance sensation and just make everything so much more enjoyable. I really love Mochi Melt. Their product is extremely high quality. It smells and tastes delicious, and it looks great on your bedside table. My favorite flavor is Honeydew. 10 out of 10, I recommend and love Mochi Melt. Go to mochimelt.com and use code THEA, THEA, for 15% off of your order. Today's episode of Sex Talk Radio is sponsored by the HUD app. HUD is changing the face of casual dating by offering an alternative and empowered approach to commitment-free dating. Go to hudapp.com/sextalk, that's hudapp.com/SEGGS talk for a week on me. A quick note, the HUD app is available on both iOS and Android and is available to users 18 and over. I mean, what's interesting is like you're here to fucking work. Like it's different, but we'll just jump into it. So
sure thing.
Girthmaster, welcome to Sex Talk Radio.
Thanks for having me.
Happy to have you here. I was just gonna say like I think people from the outside don't like almost take it seriously as a job, and it's like the more I learn from people in this space, it's like no, you're fucking here to work every day, and then it seems like you condense it more than most people who live here would.
Yeah, it's a big commitment. Like, my favorite people to work with in the industry all tend to be like in LA. So when I come out here, I try to shoot as much as I can, like nearly every day. I'll plan a shoot for every day. If there's a couple cancellations, I kind of expect that, and
I've been learning.
It's almost a good thing. But so I'll condense it as much as I can, and then I can go to Australia and kind of focus on just editing and promoting the scenes as much as I can.
Do you do all of your own editing, is that right?
Okay. I shoot it all, I edit it all,
That's
market
a lot.
it all, everything,
I'm basically doing that for the podcast, and I also have a full-time marketing job, and I'm like, I have 2 fucking jobs. Like, it is so much work to edit. And
it's more than full-time.
Yeah, and so you're, if there's a pause in a scene, like you're cutting that out, all that stuff.
Okay. I'm 30 years old now, and I started this when I was 28, and I'd always worked like full-time, like my whole life pretty much. So I'm very used to just always having that like grind mindset on of just working nonstop. And especially because it's like running your own business. It is running your own business.
You're your brand. Your dick is your brand.
The girth. But it's really a sense of like, you can't relax knowing there's more work to do. And the more time you put into it, the more money you make out of it. So I can't even like watch TV without like, I could get my laptop and
I could literally be making money. Yeah.
Right,
Lumi and I were just talking about that. It's like, and I'm starting to do that now because I'm starting to like get paid to do a bunch of sexting, which I love, but it's like, I don't really want to do this shit for free sometimes. Like, I don't know. And so, it's, the hustle mentality is very real in this space for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. But it is good to like do all my shooting at once and then go back to Australia and have like regular relations with like, like all my friends back home work regular jobs. The girls I see are like work regular jobs as well. And kind of like go back to like
it's like 2 different lives.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, you and your books. Go back home and read. And I mean, editing is such a different mindset, I'm assuming, than shooting. Just like for me, it's so different being on set than like I can sit in my bathtub and like get stoned and like edit for hours. Like it's just so different that I can see why it would make sense to just go home and switch to the different mode.
It does help editing my own content as well because I can see what worked, what didn't work. Like I kind of analyze all my own work and just get better each and every time. Yeah.
So you've had normal jobs, and then you were also, I saw something about like you've always been curious about exhibitionism online. Tumblr, I think I saw something. When did that all first start?
So like back in the Tumblr days, like I was 18 years old. I started my
like
Tumblr
truly
when I was
when
younger.
Tumblr was
back when Tumblr was popping, and so I was like posting little like nudes and dick pics there, and they'd go viral and like get a little rush from that. It's a lot of fun. And
but it was never monetized.
No, never. I only monetized it fairly very recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was posting to Tumblr for fun, and then I'd post like Craigslist casual encounters back in the day just to get the emails rolling in. Like,
were you like biggest dick? Like, were you aware at a young age?
But I would post I would post ads to like every city in the country, even to America, just to get the reactions from people to like my dick pics.
Yeah.
And then
definitely an exhibitionist.
Absolutely, yeah. Like Reddit.
Even guys
everything.
with normal sized dicks love that exhibitionism.
Fortunately for me, they tend to go viral. So that's very nice. Good boost to the ego.
I'm surprised that there wasn't a monetization element. I guess, I mean, this was pre-OnlyFans, but I'm surprised nobody ever reached out being like, I want to shoot with you, or porn stars.
Not to like, actually, a couple of little production companies did reach out, but they were like super shady.
Also, Australia, it's like not like known for its...
Right, a few $100s to like get my face on the internet at the time wasn't worth it.
Right.
Whereas now
you're also 18, like, you gotta be careful.
Exactly, yeah. But it's like now that the OnlyFans business model exists, it's so much more lucrative for like the creators actually making their own content.
Yeah.
But yeah, that like exhibitionism like pathway kind of led me here because I started a Twitter page. I think I had about 30,000 followers at the time before I'd ever monetized it. Mm-hmm. And then I hooked up with the girl that did OnlyFans. And I showed her my Twitter page, and she looked at me like I was an idiot.
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you?
You're giving away all this for free?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I monetized it, and I thought it'd be like a little bit of beer money here and there, like pay a couple bills.
Sure.
2 years later, I don't know, making more money than I ever thought I would.
Sure.
Living my wildest dreams.
Yeah. You're very popular right now. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, I can't believe it.
It's weird. I mean, I don't think I have the recognizable face as you do right now, but like it's still a weird transition because for me, I feel like it's happened relatively fast. Like a year ago, I was a fucking business coach and entrepreneur, and it's like now I'm the sex chick, and it's just like I feel like some people that have been doing OnlyFans and in this adult space for like a decade, it's just gradual for them. But you and I both have this experience. It's like, holy shit! Like now I'm known for sex. Great. Known for your dick. Like
I mean, I didn't show my face until. Not even a year ago. It was less than a year ago that I decided to show my face in my content.
This is so new for you.
Yeah, it's been the last like 6 months has been the biggest change.
Oh, okay.
And now like, especially in Australia, I really can't like go outside without someone recognizing me. They'll at least send me a message like, oh, were you at this mall today? Were you here there?
Oh, wow.
I got recognized. I took my grandma to church on Christmas.
Oh, no.
And someone DM'd me, was that you in the Mumbo shirt? I'm like,
oh my God, that's so
in a little
funny.
town of like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Like, it's happened a fair bit.
You're like, aren't you, a follower of the Lord? Why are you watching my content?
When I walked into church, my auntie flicked me with holy water.
So your family knows what you're up to?
Absolutely, yeah.
And how did that go?
Surprisingly very well. Like I broke the news to my mum first, and she took it well. Her main concerns were like, am I being careful, safe? I'm not ripping anybody off.
Fucking moms and their STI concerns. Jesus
not even
Christ.
that, more like, am I doing right by people? Like, is anyone going to come for me for what I'm doing? Like, am I extorting anyone? That kind of thing. She'd listen to a radio show about like sextortion where people
God, yeah,
like blackmailing people with their nudes. She's like, she gave me the full breakdown. She's
like, I give them out for free, so you can't really blackmail.
Right, so she was worried about that.
Yeah.
Told my sisters next, and then the rest of my family like kind of found out through TikTok. And then I was telling him anyway, and then my little cousin already knew, and there's a little thing there. But they found my username through that. Mum doesn't know my username.
Okay.
Girthmaster is... Mom and grandparents don't need to know about that.
Nope.
That's too descriptive.
They don't. But do they know about the girth situation? Like, I don't know.
I hope not. I mean...
So they just think you're just in porn. Like, not... They don't know that you're known for
They don't know why I stand out so much. Yeah.
All right. Got it. So, yeah, it's interesting with the family thing. And I mean, I remember what you were sharing with me, like, it seems like you're very close to your family. Like, it's very important. You have sisters. Yeah. I actually totally fucking called that out. I knew you were going to say that you had sisters. Like, you give off very nice, wholesome energy. And it's like, can't say that for all men. So
thank you.
It's good. I mean, I think that's why, there are a few names I can think of like male people in porn and adult content creation where I'm like, yeah, I know them. But like, I don't feel like a ton. I feel like there needs to be people like you that are kind of these middlemen, so like more women will watch porn.
Right, yeah.
Like, because you have like a nice, friendly persona that you share on social media too. Like, it's just, we got to make it a little more approachable, because I love porn. I've watched it forever, and I just am always surprised when my friends are like, oh, I don't do that.
Yeah, no, I try to like keep that in mind when I'm making my content, to make it like accessible and like realistic in a way. Like, a lot of studio porn historically hasn't been able to show. It does, like a lot of it does now, but yeah, show those little behind the scenes moments. Extreme. Like, yeah, very extreme stuff. Whereas now, like, I kind of make the content that I like to make without much like, I'll see what the fans want me to make, but I still just make porn as I like to make it. So, include little like the high fives, the handshakes, the like aftercare cuddles and all those kind of things. I think are really sweet to include.
It is.
And just kind of the stuff that I've been making seems to be resonating with a lot of people. So
it is.
I keep making it as I like it.
I mean, that's one of the things I liked was like your, like the little videos you'd make with people you work with after. And it's like, it's making it more human, like the whole industry, because I just think there's so many judgments about it, and people that aren't in our generation just think it's all like yucky. And I was talking about it with my other guest, like when people, especially for women, when they tell somebody they're in porn, it's the automatic assumption of like, well, why do you have to do that? Or like, what happened? Like, it's this whole thing, when it's like a lot of people fucking love it,
Right, yeah.
And there's some people that have had negative experiences, but like, yeah, I don't know. I'm loving the sex work stuff that I do. It's like so fun. It doesn't feel like work. I'm like, been horny my whole life. Resonates, and now I get paid.
I think to an extent you kind of need a little bit of that, especially as like a male performer, because you actually have to,
a little bit of what?
There's some physicality. You need that kind of like, you need to really enjoy sex.
Sure.
Because you need, your body needs to function with you. You need that drive there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a whole like bell curve in the industry of like, some women are there just strictly to work, and as soon as the cameras are off, they're in the shower and going home. And other girls are kind of there for the sex and like, let's put the camera up and just get into it. And you have to kind of be flexible and work within that whole range.
I see what you're saying.
You need to be able to work under any condition like that. So
right. And really read the room and roll with the vibe. And,
right. Yeah. One of the rules I have for myself on set is that I'll reciprocate, but I won't initiate any kind of contact. So like when they walk in, if they like throw their arms around me right away and like want to jump on me, then like, yeah, sure, let's have fun like that. But if they walk in and like sit in a chair in the corner of the room, then like, I'll reciprocate that.
Right.
I'll reciprocate whatever they're giving me.
You don't understand. This is because you have sisters in a relationship with your mom. I'm telling you, men do not know how to read the fucking room. Can we all agree? Like the intuition, the intuitive nature, I think is what, and we observe this. So like when women are watching porn, we're seeing, whether consciously or not, how a man is interacting with consent in general. And like, that's just what you described. It's just like, okay, how's this person navigating consent? And it's like, that goes such a long way. Like, that's great. You. Keep it up.
Cheers,
yeah. It's, those little questions are important, and like checking in throughout a scene. And like, for me, a scene is more like, I'm in more the kink space. So it's like, that's what I mean when I say scene, but just checking in with somebody throughout. And, I think, for somebody that's really young, probably in the porn space, it only takes one probably negative experience for a woman to be like, ooh.
And I think especially with like younger people and newer people, they don't really know their limitations yet. So what I really look for is that like enthusiastic, like if I ask, because like before every shoot, you ask them, do you like everything from kissing, fingering to like choking, spanking, slapping?
Yeah.
And if their answer for any, like especially the more hardcore stuff, is kind of like yeah, that's okay, then it's a no. Like unless they're like,
say it
slap me so hard my ears ring, then I'll slap you. But if it's like yeah, that's okay, then no, because they might not have done it yet. I'm not that hardcore anyway, but I don't want to.
Right.
I hate the idea that like I could put something on film and release it to like the public and it'll stay on the internet forever. That the person then regrets and doesn't want to promote and doesn't feel proud of.
Yeah, or then is thinking about it.
Right. Yeah, I want them to look back at the scene as like their favorite scene, their best experience. So.
You're so great. You're so wholesome. You need to write a guide for men's entry to porn. I love that. Because what you're saying is like a lot of stuff that I've seen in the kink space from like very experienced BDSM kinkster people, where it's like there's a sit down and there's a consent talk and what we're into, what we're not into. And I've just seen in my personal experience hooking up with like a lot of more dominant guys from like dating apps and all this stuff, I've seen those boundaries be pushed so much. And I just love how you view it all. Yeah, good stuff.
Thank you.
So tell me more a little bit about the transition. Like, have you been to LA twice or another time in the last 6 months? Because you said the 6 months.
This is my third trip to LA now.
In the last 6 months?
No, like since I started, yeah.
Okay, wow.
But yes, it's been a pretty big leap. Like the first trip was right after I quit my day job. So I at that point I was already making more than my day job through OnlyFans. So I was pretty confident quitting. It was a pretty consistent income, so I felt confident to quit.
That's when business people tell you to quit. I'm like, I'm going to quit before I even have all the money. Let's go.
Yeah, back yourself. But yeah, they're like, because like my kind of profile had grown from like people locally asking me to shoot to around Australia asking me to shoot, and then people in LA were hitting me up. So I was like, well, I've got a few names in the books. Let me roll the dice, cross the pond, and get some shoots over there. I got really lucky early on. A girl called Kazumi, who's like a pretty big name, was one of my first shoots in LA.
Oh, wow.
And that, like, she posted the pictures with like her hands not fitting around my dick, and that blew up like crazy.
Sure.
And so from there, like more and more people hit me up, and the word of mouth spread. And now I'm at a point where I stay fully booked with great performers. Like, I just can't believe my luck, really. Yeah. It's been incredible. It's been a full-on
roller coaster.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or just not even, just going up. What was your day job before?
I've had a lot. So before this, I did like customer service in an office. Before that I was a handyman. I did like construction labor.
Yeah.
I was a landscaper. Worked in like grocery stores, like receiving the trucks. I was a pizza boy for a while. I was a baggage handler for 5 years.
Do you ever have any hot fantasy stuff happen with that?
No.
The pizza boy delivery? Okay.
Never. Literally.
That's so sad.
I was like a moonlighter as a pizza boy for years. No one invited me in. No one asked for the extra sausage. It was just a regular pizza boy job.
I have a lot of my fantasies are like that kind of role play of like, the innocent younger guy coming to deliver something or deliver like, I don't know, I would have tried.
I'm a late bloomer.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. People tell me I've had like every porn job, but in real life. Like every job that Johnny Sins has performed, I've had in real life.
Delivery, receiving, grocery boy.
The landscaper.
Yeah, yes. All hot role play options. Yeah, wow. So, like, did you ever just feel... Would you ever, I don't know, like look at your dick and be like, I could be doing something like when you were miserable at work? Yeah. Like, were you ever like thinking about these things or like considering you'd gone viral on Tumblr at 18? Like,
yeah, it was always like, so it's something that I'd done on and off for years. Like when I had a partner, I'd cut it out.
The exhibitionism.
The exhibitionism online. And then, when I'm single, I'd be at my day job, but I check my phone every now and then and like, oh, look, it's like, 1,000 upvotes and like 100 comments or whatever it is. That was
Reddit
a little like,
Tumblr?
Like Reddit.
Yeah.
Like Tumblr was much, much earlier because Tumblr cut out porn. So
that's right.
They kind of died
there. Reddit.
But yes, I'd be posting pictures to like Twitter and Reddit and I'd be checking through the day. And that was like a little excitement throughout the day just from the exhibitionism.
Definitely.
Which I still enjoy.
Yeah.
And I still like, I love to do it, which is part of the reason I like keep posting like crazy. Yeah.
Sure. I'm a voyeur. Like, it's so fun. I don't like the idea of like being in like, I like to watch. Yeah. So what was like, were you nervous at all for your first scene? What was Kazumi your like first?
Oh, no. She was like my third in America.
Okay.
I'd already been doing it in Australia for like 9 months at that point, maybe.
I see. Okay.
So I had like
there's
experience.
I don't know why I'm like being judgmental to Australia, not imagining they have OnlyFans people, but it's
yeah, we've got a few over there. It's
there?
like a much like smaller industry, but it's definitely like if you want to succeed over there, you can. Like I was making a full-time living off OnlyFans in Australia.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, OnlyFans is a marketing job. Like it's how well can you sell your content. Some of the most profitable people just sell solo content and don't actually shoot with anybody.
Yes.
So like you can just have a girlfriend and make millions of dollars if you're good at marketing.
Yeah.
So you can definitely make it over there. There is a good industry, a lot of like good friends over there that I shot with and like we're pretty close. But I tend to do most of my shooting overseas now, either here or in Europe.
Sure. And were you nervous at all when you started shooting with people or?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of it was kind of like masquerading, like fake it till you make it. Like I had were
you worried about staying hard? Like, is that ever? No? Okay.
No.
Great.
Yeah, somehow I managed. I mean, it was like, it's hot, filming yourself have sex is kind of hot. If you can stay in that mindset of it and not get too wrapped up in the particulars and the details, then like, it is like a hot thing to do.
Definitely. And like, it's taboo.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I mean, it was the first shoot, like a little nervous and a lot of like, not bluffing, but like, putting on the confidence to like put them at ease that I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Like my first shoot, I had like an old iPhone, like, I don't know. It was like an old model at the time.
Yeah.
And a $10 ring light from Kmart.
Gotta start. We all start somewhere.
Right, yeah. Started there and then just slowly upgraded my kit, got a better camera, got better lights, all that. And yeah, now I've got like a full, really nice kit that I shoot with and everything comes out like really good quality. But yeah, no, it's just been a slow progress. I'm glad I started in Australia too. It's like a little wading pool in a way. I could kind of iron out the bugs and figure out my style and figure out,
Definitely.
you know, any kinks in my shooting style. And then when I came to America, I was ready to go.
So other people doing similar content as you, like, do they have other people come film for them? Or
Yeah, a lot of people will have videographers for most of their shoots.
But then there's a cut. They have to give them some of their money.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's not too bad. Like, videographers don't charge crazy amounts, like a few $100s a shoot. But, you know, typically I shoot myself. I think part of it is, like, I kind of like, it's like my style in a way, I guess. Sure. It's like, this style of porn that I'd watch. So, like, I like to make this type of porn that I watch.
Yeah.
And the other sense is, like, having another person in the room, like, depending on the videographer, can be kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, some videographers are great to have. They're, like, a very neutral presence. And some are, like, too in the way and too, like...
Yes. Oh, you came on one.
Can be odd. Yeah, I did come on a videographer once. She's lovely, though.
So they get really close up in there.
Yeah, there's something about it as well that, like, kind of changes the dynamic of a shoot in some ways.
Yeah, a bit more of, like, a performance or...
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. You can kind of, like... There's, like, silly little things that you, like, do when it's just the two of you. And,
yeah,
like,
more intimate.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, more intimate. Which, I mean, like, performing with the videographer there is, like, something you need to be able to do in a lot of times. And a lot of girls prefer that anyway, so...
Sure,
it's something
third party.
Yeah, it's like a skill you kind of need.
Yeah.
But my preference is definitely to shoot it myself.
Definitely. Well, I've watched a lot of your porn. I enjoy it very much.
Thank you very much.
I feel like your style, I don't really know necessarily other styles of male OnlyFans creators, but it's like, I feel like I'm in somebody's I feel like I'm in the living room watching the porn. Like, is that how you would describe?
Yeah, that's something I like to do. Like,
the Girthmaster special. Like, Yeah,
I like it to kind of feel like that, like, in-home environment, like a calm, relaxed type of feeling. I don't like the hotel room shoots at all. But yeah, I liked...
Those are not a vibe. They're very, like, 90s.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a sterile hotel room with the tucked-in sheets. Like, I'd much prefer, like, a calm living room or something like that. Like, plants and natural light, that kind of feeling is very much my vibe.
Definitely.
And then, my, like, view of it is, like, I use a tripod and, like, I'll hold the camera as well, like, POV. And I just kind of mix it up with whatever view is better at the time.
Okay.
Like, if it's on the tripod, but, like, what I'm seeing is, like, visually amazing, I'll pick the camera up. Like, I want the viewer to be able to see what I'm seeing. I see.
Okay, so you have a camera set up, and then you also have that, and then you edit them together.
Yeah, it'll be the same camera the whole time, but just, like, whatever I think looks better at the time, I'll move the camera around. If I want to try a position I'll need both hands for, put it on the tripod and, like, do whatever we need to do.
Totally. What have your, like, let's go back before, well, we don't want to go underage because that'd be weird, but, like, reactions to the size of your dick. How was that? Like, before the industry? Yeah.
Yes. It's so much fun. Like, seeing girls' reactions to it is one of my favorite things. Especially, like, before porn, I wouldn't tell them anything about it. Because on a date, you can't tell a girl you've got a big dick. They will not go home with you if you say that.
What?
So, I mean...
Size queens will. Jesus Christ.
They'll think you're bragging. Like, if I tell you
I see what you're saying.
If I tell you it's big, you'll think I'm lying. If I tell you it's small, you're like, no, I'm lying.
If a guy is telling me on a date how big his dick, like, I would be, I get what you're saying. I recently squirted for the first time, and it was a lot of fluid. I was surprised. I squirted like 5 times in a row the first time I did it, and everything was drenched. I spent the entire next day doing multiple loads of laundry, and as excited as I was to have squirted for the first time, I also realized that I needed a solution for the problem at hand. So I am so excited to be working with Splash Blanket. They create incredible waterproof blankets. They can be used for squirting, for sex in general. They absorb up to 1 liter of liquid. I mean, I just use mine as a cozy blanket. They are extremely diverse, and I absolutely love them. So go to splashblanket.us and use code SEGGS, SEGGS, for 15% off of your entire order. If you know me and you watch the podcast, you know that I like watching porn for my self-pleasure rituals. One of my favorite websites to go to is xoafterglow.com. What I have found with mainstream porn is that a lot of it is created for the male gaze. It's a lot about the man's pleasure, and it just doesn't feel super authentic and connected. What I really love about Afterglow is that it is for everyone, and it is founded by a woman. I've actually had the pleasure of working with her here in Austin, and I love their mission. You can also find educational porn on their website called EduPorn, and there is just so much to learn and watch there. So go to exoafterglow.com and use code EXOTHEA. I thought you were saying they say no because they were like nervous, but
yeah, no. So like then we'll go home and like my favorite thing is the reaction when I get it out. Ugh. It's like a hysterical laugh. They'll like back up on the couch, whatever it is.
Oh my gosh.
Hilarious.
Well, that's also such a moment in porn for all of porn that's really perpetuated, like the like extreme reaction and excitement to the dick size, regardless of the size. And so I feel like it's also just erotic because we've watched porn the last, 15 years where it's like the reaction, but you get the real authentic, holy fuck.
I think like for that, I had to get good at foreplay. Like I had no choice. Like because I wouldn't get it out until like I'd already put in the work on them. So they're already like,
to come for that to happen.
She's already came, she's horny, she's feeling it, and then she sees it and it's like, all right, like, but
she doesn't
she's warmed
see
up.
it until after she comes?
Yeah.
You're such a giver. That's so kind.
In a way, like I feel like it'll help, like, cause she's like horny, she's ready, and her body's like ready for it. She hasn't, if she sees it first, she might like get nervous.
The body can have weird reactions too, like to emotions. So like, I really like to make myself come before penetrative sex, like, because I use toys, and it's so much. Yeah, it goes in easier. It feels better. It feels better. You're already all activated.
Like it sometimes won't fit, so it's important to like. And I feel like them being relaxed and calm or like having come already goes a long way to
big time
helping it actually fit.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of foreplay do you like? Like, do you like making girls squirt, fingering? I don't know.
I mean, if they can squirt, it's not like a goal of mine or anything. But if it happens, it happens. But yeah, like making out, fingering, going down on them. Love it all.
Fun. I mean, the guys that I've met with large dicks are not particularly giving, so it's refreshing.
I feel like you kind of have to.
It usually is really connected to like an inflated ego, like, you know, so it's nice. You've kept yourself pretty grounded.
If it doesn't fit, the fallback is to have like lesbian sex, like extended foreplay, basically.
Lesbian sex.
That girl actually gave me that term once because we hooked up.
Because you're like scissoring without your dick?
It didn't fit. And then so we just like, I don't know, like I fingered her. She gave me hand jobs and blow jobs and like just like did hand and mouth stuff all night.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, that was really fun. And she was bisexual fun. And she's like, yeah, we just had lesbian sex.
Oh,
like,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lesbians do have sex.
Yes. Yes, they do. I mean, I like alternatives. Like sometimes it can be a lot of work. Like if it's full penetrative sex, then it's going to be like sweaty hair. It's going to be like a hair makeup situation. But it can be fun for just two people to, you know, make each other come. And I've been in a Dom era, so I'm like, I can just tie you up and deal with you.
That stuff is a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Like when they like edge you and like don't let you come and then like keep getting you there. Like that's a fun dynamic.
You've had people dom you, women?
Not like hard dom.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a girl I was seeing back in Australia and she had like, she was into a little bit of CNC type of stuff.
Sure.
Like nothing crazy, but like, you know, like wanted me to like overpower her a little bit. Yeah. And she'd like do that, like edge me and then stop, edge me and then stop, edge me and then stop. And then eventually I was just like,
so intense.
Pushed her off, picked her up and like went in and she was like, we both loved it.
Well, it's fun. I like the energy with power dynamics of people like begging to come and like begging for like, I don't know, it's hot.
I kept like nearly getting there and then she'd stop and she'd giggle.
God damn it.
Like the third time of her giggling, I was like, fuck this. Like you're getting it now.
Yeah. So you date kind of vanilla, you would say, or not vanilla sex, but like you date people not in the industry when you're back in Australia.
Yeah. Like for one thing, there's not many people in the industry in my town. Oh, in my city, I should
town?
say. City.
Oh, like how small is this little village?
I grew up in a town. I live in a city now. It's like a few million people.
What's it called?
Brisbane.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a major city, yeah. Yes. But yeah, no,
grew up in a small town though.
Grew up in a small town, yeah.
Okay.
What were we talking about? The people I sleep
dating, with. Dating in the city.
Yeah, so when I'm back home, like I'll go on like regular dates off Hinge and stuff like that and see like regular girls. And I kind of like that in the sense that it's kind of like validating in that when I'm in LA and I'm sleeping with porn girls, they have like all the free time in the world and the sex is going to be amazing and like we know what we're doing, but it's kind of like eating cake every day. And then I go back home and it's like if they have like a full-time job and they still make time in their week to see me, that's like a validating feeling. Like
you want to feel special.
Yeah, right. Like they like spending time with me. It's valuable to them, so I like
cute.
that. Yeah, I appreciate it. And yeah, they're like, I don't know. I kind of like settling back into that like sense of normalcy and having a little
it seems
life
like you
back
really
home.
view this as a job, and do a lot of traveling for it. So I know I asked you on our prep call, but why would you not move to LA, move to the States?
It'd break my mom's heart for sure.
The only son, right?
Yeah, I lived overseas for a few years already, and one of my sisters also lives overseas. So there was only one sibling living back in Australia for a while.
Oh.
And now that I live
Mom
back in
was lonely.
Australia, Mum's like,
Yeah.
you can't leave again, which is fair enough. Like I did a few years overseas, and you don't appreciate how hard it is for the parents until you get home and see how much everyone's changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I love being close to family too. I've got my friends from high school that I'm still close with.
Yeah.
And you do miss out on a lot of engagement parties, friends having kids, birthdays. And I hate missing all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've missed it for years. And now that I'm back home, I'm
Right.
like planning my trips internationally around when my friends have their events on.
That's
So
cool.
it's good to stay close to the old friends and family.
Yeah.
And like I said, the family is really close. Like grandma was like a real matriarch, kept everyone close together. Mom, grew up with like my mom and my two sisters, and we were really close.
Yeah.
So it's good to like keep that dynamic going. It's really important.
Love
like a lot of times throughout my life growing up, especially like fell in hard times, and family always came through to like help us out, pick us up, whatever we needed. The family's always there for us. So it's good to stay close. And now the grandparents are getting old. Pop's got dementia. It's nice to be able to just pop in all the time and help them out wherever I can.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like in society right now, we're really disconnected from that familial element of like people living together and being close, because it's just so easy to go away. But we're reaching that age. I'm similar age. I'm 31, and it's like we see our parents are starting to look different. It's just it's getting weird, and it's like I'm trying to make that decision too. If I live in Austin, I should probably live in LA, but my mom lives in Northern California, and it's like, yeah, time's just moving by really fast.
Yeah.
It's weird. Has time felt like it's moving faster or slower for you with going into this?
It's a total
industry?
blur. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, I need to like actively sit down and like process like what happens sometimes.
Sure.
Because like months will go by. I've been so busy working every single day, doing incredible things, but it doesn't have time to sink in until I sit down and think back like, wow, I really did
all that crazy
I
shit.
met this person. I got that award. I did this and that. And it really doesn't sink in until I give myself time to really appreciate it. Because you get so wrapped up in little things every day, and you get stressed about things. But I'm grateful for the times I can really slow down and look back at what I've achieved. Because I've had a lot of success in the last couple of years. So
definitely. Do you feel like if you moved here, it would become like too much of a whirlwind? Like you might not be able to have that?
Probably, yeah. Like if I was to move here.
Up until I discovered Mochi Melt, I felt like buying lube was an embarrassing thing. I would get it from Target, put it in my little bag and hide it. It also was just like not very presentable. I didn't want it on my bedside table. And when I found Mochi Melt, it just really changed my perception of lube in general. And I've honestly been using it in a lot more of my sexual experiences lately because it's just so different. Silky and smooth. It tastes delicious. It smells delicious. And it really elevates a sexual experience. I think that there are a lot of misconceptions about lube, and I honestly find that it enhances most sexual experiences. My favorite flavor of Mochi Melt is honeydew. And honestly, like you could eat it. It is so good. So go to mochimelt.com and use code THEA, THEA, for 15% off of your order, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Today's episode of Sex Talk Radio is sponsored by the HUD app. HUD offers an alternative approach to commitment-free dating and is geared towards supporting women in exploring their sexuality and intimacy in a safe way through conversations around consent, healthy communication, and boundary setting. HUD was the first to roll out safety features like auto blur photos and video chat capabilities. I've been using the app for a little while now, and personally, my favorite feature is the bedroom feature, where I can see a glimpse into somebody's bedroom desires. So for example, it will literally say Thea's bedroom, and then BDSM, bondage, dirty talk, impact play, etc., which makes it that much easier to assess your sexual compatibility with someone. HUD is really future forward in how they're evolving their app, and I'm excited to continue using it for casual dating. Go to hudapp.com/sextalk, that's hudapp.com/SEGGS talk for a week on me. A quick note, the HUD app is available for both iOS and Android and is available to users over 18.
I think all of my friends would then be industry friends, and my life would really revolve around the porn industry 100%, which I kind of, like, nothing wrong with that. I do love the industry. There's amazing people here I work with.
Yeah.
But I do like going home and, like, I don't know, getting my own little hobbies and figuring out what I like to do. And I'm a big like relaxation guy.
Totally.
I love doing nothing, like just sitting at the apartment all day.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I try my best
I don't
anyway.
know how to chill.
But yeah, you know, like I go back home, I've been learning how to sail. Like I want to learn like different skills and that, and just like
Totally.
I don't know,
Have that distinction.
build myself up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like have my regular friends and do regular like things that here I wouldn't be able to do.
Totally. So were you nominated for AVN and XBiz, or did you win?
Yeah.
And then you just won Pornhub's Best Dick? What it was?
Yeah. So I was nominated for the
name.
AVNs and the XBiz Awards. Didn't get any wins there. But then I just won the Best Big Dick Performer with Pornhub.
Did you know you would? I kind of knew you would.
No, I mean, I had like, I was hopeful.
Sure.
But I'd already had a few nominations at the previous award shows, didn't get any wins.
Yeah.
You never know what to expect. You know what I mean? It's not like they tell you ahead of time. And this win was like a data-driven category. So like they pull the data off Pornhub directly, and that's the category that I perform best in. Yeah, so lucky enough to win that. There was some stiff competition in the Pornhub Awards.
Was there? Were there dicks like yours? All
All
right, I don't know.
But yeah, no,
I'm biased.
But yeah, no, so I'm grateful for the win. It was an awesome night.
Yeah, I
Finally
bet.
got a little trophy. I am the first guy from Australia to win a major porn award, so
Cool.
I'm stoked about that.
Yeah, I mean, you've been putting in a lot of fucking work with the transit, so yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, I think last year I spent about half the year traveling, like here, Europe, all over the place, just shooting content.
How do you find people to book with, like, in places where you're not as connected, like Europe?
Twitter, really. Like Twitter is like LinkedIn for porn. Like it is like a huge network.
Yeah, I'm like, boop, boop. I've actually been following girls through your account. I'm like, okay, cool. Because you're working with huge fucking people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a point now where I feel like most people in the industry know who I am. So like when they follow me, I actually keep a little spreadsheet of like people I've spoken to and like, because there's so many people.
Oh God,
involved,
I bet
like,
it would be,
So like
some of them kind of all look alike.
Yeah, so when I'm going to Europe, I'll look at my spreadsheet and it's like, all right, here's like 20 people in Europe. You know, I'll send a few messages out, see who's over there, who's free to work in the months I want to go.
Yeah.
And then kind of organize a little trip that way.
Cool.
But yeah, Twitter is really it, on like Instagram as well, obviously, but Twitter's the main one.
Definitely.
And yeah, I just kind of have a little network of porn people through that. It's great.
Fun. What is your kind of, I mean, you already spoke a little bit about like your protocol for shooting with somebody, but if you've never met them, like, I know that OnlyFans also has some rules, like consent waivers or like are there any protocols with OnlyFans?
Not in particular. Like as long as, like when you post a video to OnlyFans, you tag the other person's account.
And they have to, both people have to have OnlyFans.
Both people have to be verified on OnlyFans. They have like an AI detection system that like, if there's any face in the video that isn't tagged, they know. Like there's...
Oh, I've heard of that. Like weird background people. You can't do exhibitionist stuff in public.
In public videos as well. You need to like show them that you own the lease and that it's not public if you do like public stuff. So I avoid it altogether.
Show that you own the lease.
Yeah, like you had like
Christ.
that land is yours and it's private and whatever. But I filmed a video the other day and I didn't realize in the background that the TV was on and it was like playing like film clips.
Yeah.
So I had to like blur out for like a couple seconds the TV because I knew OnlyFans would detect there's a face in there and please tag future in this porn video. Like no chance.
Right.
And yeah, best practice is like fill out paperwork like 2257s and things like that.
Which is?
It's like a model like release form. So it gives you the right to publish the content of the other person.
Okay.
To like monetize sites.
I think at least in the US, I think there's a specific form for tax filing for people in porn.
Yeah, probably.
As well.
See,
I guess
I don't like
deal with that.
I don't do like the contracts with any studios. Like I don't actually like work for companies in America. It's just
you're just an independent contractor.
Not even a contractor. Just like film videos.
Yeah. What a life.
Right. Yeah.
What has been like one of your favorite scenes or people you've worked with? Or it's probably an annoying question that you always get asked. Sorry.
There are like way too many. Like honestly,
You're like
so many people.
all the pussy blurs together.
No, they're all so distinct.
That's true.
Oh my God. I mean.
Or like something that like was unexpected in a scene or I don't know.
Oh my God. I don't want to exclude anybody either.
You're such a good boy.
Everyone I've worked with has like been so amazing in so many different ways. I mean, one of my early scenes in Australia, I worked with a girl called Kelly Panther, who's like a sweetheart. And it was like maybe my 4th or 5th scene. And she was like, you're going to make it so big. She like put so much confidence in me to make it big. So shout out to Kelly Panther. She's like...
she was hyping you up.
Yeah, she was like...
She knew where you were headed.
It was like, yeah, one of my first shoots, but she's like, you're going to make it massive, blah, blah, blah. Like, I know you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And when I won the Pornhub Award, I messaged her straight away. And I'm like, guess what? Like, I did it.
People that believe in us.
I'm pretty fond of that one.
I was impressed with I was, what was it? It was Tiny Hands' wife, Joanna.
Joanna
Is that her
Angel,
name?
yeah.
You did an anal scene with her,
Yeah,
right?
that was
That's
her decision.
impressive.
And that was like almost off the
That-
fly too. Like
Wow.
I was filming with Joanna Angel, Small Hand's wife.
Yeah.
And she was like
great.
trying to get it in her vagina and it just didn't fit. She tried for like 10 seconds.
Why would it fit in the ass? Like,
Right?
more?
The anal queens prefer it in the ass.
Wow.
She was trying to get it in her vagina, it didn't fit. So
Wild.
she just like steered it into her ass.
Hot.
Yeah, right?
Have you ever had, well, you've probably done that before with people, or no? Was that?
Until I started porn, I'd never
yeah.
done anal.
Yeah, because that's a,
Even before I
never
got to
tried.
America, like a few girls had tried and like it just
Right.
didn't fit. Like
Checks out.
they'd trained for a while, didn't fit at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then came to America and it was like the Joanna Angel, like spur of the moment. Say, I want to put it in my ass. And I'm like, you're going to what? Like that's never happened before.
Yeah.
And then, but now I've worked with girls like GIRTHMASTER who just, I'm working with her again in a few days. It'll be our third scene together. And she can just take as much,
Wow.
I don't have enough dick for GIRTHMASTER. She just has the most like
For multiple
magic,
rounds, or what do you mean?
like I just like can't fuck hard enough and deep
Oh,
enough.
wow.
Like
Oh.
I'm going the full length in and out, and she's just like she wants more. And like I've
hot.
never run out of dick before, but GIRTHMASTER can just take it. There's a clip of
Shout
ours
out,
going
she'll
viral.
love that clip.
Yeah. There's a clip of ours going viral on Twitter. I called it the factory reset.
Oh, I remember seeing that one.
Yeah, I was like-
Like a screenshot.
Yeah, like doing anal with her while like semi-fisting her.
Oh, wow.
And she was
Jesus
going
Christ.
crazy.
Wow.
Wild.
Yeah. For that clip, for some reason, I thought when the screenshot, I thought she was going to squirt. I just squirted for the first time. I'm very excited about it.
Oh,
But
good on you. Mm-hmm. It's a real skill to learn.
At 31 years, I really thought it would never happen.
Well
so
done.
It was exciting. I was like, oh, we've hacked something. It's really just, I mean, it's just really far up there. So it's a different spot. Okay, so we didn't get too much on your favorite scenes, but you're trying to be really nice.
I mean, I'm trying to think, like, so many of them, like, stand out and come to mind.
Yeah.
I've worked
Or
with so
like-
many amazing people.
Or like, what have some of your fun LA adventures been? Seems like you always like go out and get food with people after, wholesome Girthmaster stuff.
You know what I was saying before, everything just blurs together.
Did you go to Kazumi's like birthday party?
No,
Were you
I've
there?
been
Oh,
invited
okay.
to a few, but I'm never
I
in
saw
the
that
country
recent
when they
one.
happen.
I was
yeah.
like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she literally like
bed.
she had 100 people in a massive mansion with a big like even the balcony level. Then she got carried in by Alex Jones and fucked on the bed in front of everybody.
I really want her on. I was emailing with her people.
Yeah.
She's such a badass.
Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, I don't know how I got lucky enough to work with her like in one of my first shoots.
Sure.
She's incredible.
That'll do it.
Yeah, she's iconic for sure.
So what's next? I know you're headed to Vegas today.
Yeah, headed to Vegas this afternoon. I'm shooting a threesome with Jack and Jill. It'll be their first like male, female. So I'm excited about that. And like when people trust me with their like big first shoots like that, it's like a great vote of confidence. So I love that. Then I'm back shooting, if all goes according to plan, shooting with a big name on Monday.
Fun.
But
Back here.
Yeah, keep that under wraps because I don't want to jinx myself. But
You got it.
You'll see about it.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'm fully booked for the rest of the month. Just doing my
Cool.
best. Yeah, staying busy.
And so with the people in Vegas, I think I looked them up. They're a couple.
Yep.
And they do just threesomes with women mostly. Like that's all their
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that
Maybe-
is exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah. Well,
Should be good.
you're a trustworthy dude.
Thank you.
Good
yeah.
vibes.
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I got a like great trip so far. Everything I've shot so far in LA, this trip has been like amazing. The rest of the shoot's going to go great. I'm sure of it.
How's like your backlog with your porn and content? Like
Like for releasing.
like what you're posting on Twitter right now is like stuff for, like, are you like, I'm going to deal with all this shit when I get back to Australia?
In a way, like I'm
Or-
just started releasing the content that I've shot this trip. Been here for about a week, so I'm going to start releasing the
yeah,
content
you're
now.
fresh.
But yeah, I do like I kind of store it up in the vault, and then I
Yeah.
can go home, take a few months off shooting completely, and just like release a scene every 5 days on my OnlyFans.
Love it. Goals.
And yeah, take as much time as I want to recuperate and live
Yeah.
a little regular, boring life as a civilian, and then
Yep.
back to the limelight.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be full-time doing this. And honestly, I didn't know that I could make the money that I'm starting to make with like Patreon because it's a
Yeah.
little more, vanilla. It's not vanilla. It's just different. It's not OnlyFans. But I like created a $50 a month tier, and like I'm just surprised by what's starting to happen because like I'm very like I'm naughty, but I'm good girl in the sense of like I don't want this shit on the internet. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
That's not really my goal. But I'm surprised by how many people are paying, and I feel like
Yeah.
I'm on that trajectory.
Yeah, it's incredible how supportive some people can be. Mm-hmm. It's really like, it's quite amazing.
Yeah. Tell me more about your fans. So, like, do you have select group of fans that like message you all the time or like pay you high ticket? Do you do customs? Like, what is that fan base?
Yeah,
the
so I've got my
fan
like
base?
the little core group, probably like, I don't know, there's a few fans that like I'll message constantly. They're like my top fans. They spend the most
On
as well
OnlyFans.
on OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Women,
really only,
men.
a good mix nowadays. Like I really only interact with fans on OnlyFans. That's like the main way to actually contact me and message me and everything like that.
Yeah.
There's a few like core fans that have been around from like day one more or less, and they'll buy every scene that I put out. They'll tip me for little things here and there. I love it. We like just chat all the time.
Yeah.
Then I'd say the breakdown these days is probably about 50-50 men and women.
Okay.
For a
And
lot-
gay men mostly of those men's in the DMs?
I mean, straight men and like straight men.
yeah.
Like, hey, I'm straight, but
I really
can't
like
stop
your
thinking
cock,
about
and I would
sucking
like,
it. Yeah,
oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah, they're like, the idea of sucking my dick is like hot to them. So
It's the
they're
only gay
straight.
thing I've ever
Like,
done. And
hey, I'm a married man, but like, which is super common and like no shade to that at all. Like, it's very, very common.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
I talk about a lot is about wanting to create a safer space for like heteroflexible men and bi-curious men, because I think that those men are shamed their whole life and called names, whereas bi women are just sexualized. And
Yeah,
so I think that when men are curious about that, because I totally believe that bi men exist, they can't really be out about it because they'll just be also shamed or told they're just gay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so they go to the more, lucrative spots on the internet to
There's
message
like
about it. But-
huge Reddit communities all about it.
About what?
Like the like heteroflexible man and like those kind of fantasies.
Yeah.
And then, in a way, that's where I started posting a lot of my content initially. Was on Reddit
that's
to those
smart.
because I have like the porn dick. You know what I mean? It's big and aesthetic. So I was posting there, and a lot of my fans started there, and then I kind of built up from there to Twitter. And then now I've been getting really popular on TikTok, and a lot of my female
Girth
audience
talk.
comes through TikTok. Yeah, hashtag Girth talk.
That actually makes sense that there would be females from, because I'm learning that myself. Like different audiences come from different places.
Yeah,
It's very smart.
Instagram and TikTok seems to be mostly women, and Reddit and Twitter are mostly male followers.
Women don't. I mean, I'm a weirdo, so I use Reddit. But like, that
Reddit
checks
has
out.
great. Like, I'm like a categories kind of guy when I watch porn. Like, I want to watch like blowjobs or whatever it is. I'll go to Reddit.
Let's go niche.
Yeah, exactly. You can just filter.
Better search engine than like Pornhub.
Yeah, I like. Although Pornhub is great.
Yeah.
Shout out Pornhub.
Yeah. Even though I can't watch you in Texas, but but yeah, it's just like you have to. I usually find on Pornhub I'm doing a lot of scrolling to find kind of what I'm looking for, but like somewhere like Reddit.
And like
or
watching
Twitter,
the whole
it's like,
video as well is like a commitment, and like you get
so
you get the
ADD
mix of
with
everything.
porn.
Yeah. Maybe I just want to watch like 50 different blowjob clips at once.
There you go. Oh God, what are we doing to our younger generations? All the different screens.
We have the TikTok scroll mind mentality.
What was I gonna say about Reddit? Oh, TikTok. When did you? It sounds like you've gone viral on TikTok, like prior to what's happening right now.
Yeah, so I've had a few TikTok accounts, and I'd
Dick
kind of
in the pants outline.
I'd get a few million views, then get deleted because I was.
Even just the outline of the dick?
Full mast in sweatpants. Like, I was...
Oh.
I mean, I was
gotta get a
totally
halfie.
lying.
Or whatever they're fucking called.
I was a little too excited on TikTok for a while. So my new TikTok account is like 99% of my videos are like above the shoulders. Like just me talking to the camera.
Well, people are starting to know your face. So it's like all...
It was like a slow burn to like me just... Now I'm just talking, showing my face, like all over the TikTok. And it's been blown up. Like a few of my videos are getting like 1 million views plus.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been going really well. People are really resonating with me talking on TikTok for some reason. So I'm going to keep doing it.
It's all about the authenticity. I've done viral social strategy for a while, specifically TikTok, and like what you're doing with replying to comments, because people can allude to your size and the thing in the comment, but then you don't have to, and you can't get deleted for somebody else's comment.
Yeah.
So like there's all these little hacks, but you're doing
and
it.
I feel like having a vocabulary helps too. Like being able to talk about the inappropriate things without using the inappropriate words.
Oh God, TikTok's really hard.
Yeah,
it's really hard. I got deleted at like 55K and 20, and just like
it's tough. And like that restarting is tough too.
Yes.
That's kind of
humbling.
That's why I started hashtagging like Girth Talk and Girthmaster.
Yeah,
because then the hashtag might be trending, and if I get deleted, I can start a new one and stay within the hashtag.
Right, definitely. What were the
Although,
viral
knock on wood,
ones?
I don't get deleted.
Yeah, I know. TikTok, don't listen to us. What are the viral ones right now?
I've got one talking about my upcoming like Doc Johnson dildo release, and that's got 1 million views. It's done like 300,000 views in a day, and it's literally me just staring at like a comment bubble because a lady said something like, I don't know, I'd be on all fours barking until he rearranges my organs rearranges my organs alphabetically.
Oh my God, that's so intense.
Yeah. So I like literally
like,
just
okay.
sat down and like
Yeah.
stared at the comment like I'm disgusted.
Yeah.
And that's done like 300,000 in a day.
There you go.
So the views are crazy and like, yeah, I love it. The fans love it. So, and it's a great way to like interact with the community as well. Really build the community.
Definitely. And I think there's a lack of, I think, male faces in this space that are super recognizable, at least from what like I'm gathering. And there's also a lack of like the vulnerability and transparency. And so I think you being both of those things, it's like people need to see into this industry and start to reorganize their bias against it, you know?
I think it's kind of the difference between like myself as predominantly a content creator. I've never done any like professional studio shoots. All my marketing comes from myself. So I need to put in the work to make myself viral on TikTok and Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. Like that's all my fans come 100% from my own work on Twitter and like other social medias. Whereas the more mainstream porn guys, the guys that shoot for the big studios, get a huge amount of exposure through the studios they work for. So they don't really need to or want to put themselves out there on social media the way that I do.
Right.
So it's like it's a conscious decision to really put my face out there.
Yeah.
And you know, there's consequences that come with it being recognized in public and stuff like that. But
oh, poor you.
I know it's tough.
Women running up to you, talk to you about your dick. Yeah, I also think that when somebody's page and social pages are managed by somebody else, it's so obvious. Like on Instagram, at least, there's just such a clear lack of that energy. And I mean, I'm actually working on building like a sex tech product, and I want the basis of it, without giving too much away, to be about those more authentic connections between sex workers and people. Because what I've learned in my few months of doing it is like, I really fucking care about these people, and we message frequently.
Yeah.
They send me money, but I don't see it as this crazy transactional thing, and they actually don't want it to feel transactional. Like,
the best fans are the ones that'll just like tip randomly. Like you'll put a post up and they'll tip that post and say whatever it is. A fan last night, her and her friends were watching my porn together on their TV.
Love that.
And she tipped like $100 and was like, "Thanks for the great entertainment with the girls."
Yeah.
Like,
how did you know she was watching? She just told you?
Yeah, she told me. They sent me a little like group selfie as well.
Cute.
It was cute.
Like, how can you turn that into a TikTok? That'd be good.
Yeah, really cute.
Yeah, I think the authenticity is important for sure with sex work stuff. And I think that there's something missing from the space, but I'll talk about it later. I think it is
important as well, like to keep that connection with the community and see the feedback yourself and like actually understand. And like I was saying before, like I create the porn that I like to create, and I'm not going to take on direction from my fans. Like I'm not going to listen to what the vocal minority are telling me I should make. Like I've got like the kind of vision that I like to make. I make it and it resonates with people, but yeah,
we have a thing against authority over here.
No, it's more like the creative process. I think it's true with anything. Like for me, it's porn. For like clothes designers, directors, whatever it is, whatever their medium. Whatever your medium is, you need to have your own vision and not make what people tell you you should make.
A lot of people, before I was a sex podcaster, I had 2 different companies, and at the beginning of starting something, when you tell people about the idea, they always tend to tell you, well, you should do like a little research. Like you should go out and like test it out. And that's never what I've done. I'm like, I'm going to just fucking do it because I believe in like my vision. Like I know what I can create, and it's important.
I get overwhelmed with the like analysis paralysis. Like I think about it way too much, goes on for too long, and then I never actually take that step.
Yeah.
Unless I just like jump in feet first. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, in terms of like your fans and stuff as well, have you ever hooked up with anybody like that's messaged you and like I don't know, like do your fans like really want? I know you have some crazy fans.
Yeah, I've got some
really
crazy
excited
fans. I have hooked up with a fan before, but these days I like when I go on dates and stuff like that. I like the idea that they have no idea who I am. Like a few months.
It's fun. It's kind.
I love it.
It's almost kind of kinky though.
Right, and I feel like if they know who I am beforehand, they probably have like these presumptions about me, whatever it is. Whereas if it's like I'm a complete stranger and I just tell them my job's marketing, then like before we go home or whatever it is, I'll tell them what my actual job is.
Yeah.
And give them time to process it. But I kind of like the idea that they don't have anything to gain from being with me, even if it's being with somebody with some kind of a platform.
Sure.
To me, that kind of gives me a bit of an ick.
Sure.
I get it, fair enough. And I'm at a point now where like a lot of the times I will get recognized just off dating apps and stuff like that, which is fine.
No, it's fun to kind of see how it goes differently.
Yeah, a few months ago, though, I feel like a good little boost for my ego. I was out with a friend, and I ended up getting a threesome by myself. They didn't know who I was.
By myself.
Yeah, but like it was me and two girls.
You are worthy of a threesome.
Right. It's like I did that without my platform, without porn, they had nothing to gain but just being with me. They didn't know who I was. I'm like,
I love that.
That gave me validation. They're like, all right, I'm in the right space. I'm like, I'm not only having threesomes on camera, I'm capable myself.
Yeah, it seems like you don't want to feel used, which I understand. I feel really conflicted by it when I'm on, I usually date on Field, like the kink-friendly dating app. And I feel very conflicted because I kind of want all of my cards to be out there. Like, I have a sex podcast. I'm into some kinky shit. Like, this is my life. But then on the other hand, I kind of want that feeling of like, what would it be like to just be treated normally? Yeah. But I've also encountered that going in the direction of like second, third date. They find the podcast, they listen, and they're like, Jesus Christ. And they're not into it. And that rejection's hard too.
Yeah. See, I always like, my ideal, like the ideal way it works for me is like we'll go on a date, they don't know who I am. I tell them I'm in marketing, and then like 2 or 3 drinks in, I'll say like, hey, by the way, when I said marketing, I actually do OnlyFans. Yeah. And then like we've had enough time to like get to know each other some. Because once they know I do OnlyFans and like they, see the profile kind of thing.
Do you show it to them on the date?
No, I don't tell them, but like if they press me enough, I'll be like, all right, this is my here's my Instagram. Because it's weird. I don't have a personal Instagram at all. So it's weird, like, sometimes girls will be like, yeah, right, you don't have an Instagram, like, you're going to kill me. Like, well, like, I have an Instagram, but it's not Girthmaster's Instagram. But yeah, and then like, I feel like almost an obligation to tell them before we go home, like, hey, I'm a sex worker for a living. Like, I don't want to dupe them into like, surprise, like.
Totally. That's the thing. It's this weird balance of like wanting to kind of feel the vanilla normalcy of like dating, but then also like, we're both like badasses doing a lot of shit. It's not just like we're not your average marketers. So it's like you want to be, I don't know. It's weird. You're giving me some ideas. I think I might do some vanilla dating. Pretend to be not a sex podcaster for a little while.
Speaking of Field earlier, if you're that catfish in New York using my pictures on your Field account, cut it out, please. I get messages nearly daily. Like, hey, are you on Field in New York?
Fuck.
I'm not in New York. I'm on Field. I'm not in New York.
I will make that a reel for you.
No plans to go to New York either.
I've always been quite the size queen. And one time, I'm fucking smart. The fact that I got catfished is wild. I got catfished by a big dick. I'll have to show you a photo of the guy on Pornhub because you probably recognize it. But now that we're in California, but like, it was this like younger submissive guy, which I thought it was so hot that he was kind of submissive and had a huge dick. And he was sending me faces of who he was, but then sending me little clips from this guy's OnlyFans with a huge dick. Yeah. And he didn't have a big dick. Oh. And so it was a mind fuck. Yeah. And then what I found, because I've actually been catfish, like people are fucking catfishing on Field because kink is such a vulnerable thing for people. Like it's so, there's a lot of shame with it. And so they use Field as this like safe place to share my kinks and my fetishes. But like, I might not actually even live in the city you're in or might not be me. So definitely been catfished a little bit before. And I've found it's when people aren't eager to meet up. Like usually a guy is like, oh, you're down to fuck me? Like, okay, fucking great. And there's enthusiasm. And for this, it's with this guy even too, it was like, well, I'm kind of like busy. I'm kind of doing it. And I'm like, okay, like you're catfishing me. You're not in this location. And so, I got catfished by a huge dick one time.
I'm so sorry to hear
It was sad.
I always wonder like what their intentions are too. Because there's been guys, I got messages from people like, hey, is this you on Grindr? I'm like, no.
Wow.
Never had a Grindr account.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, well, this guy like actually like went to meet up. Like, meet me like at this park, this time, whatever. Ooh. And the guy went there.
Yeah, what you gonna do, honey?
Right. What's that? That's scary to me. Like someone uses my pictures to like, with malintent. That's a scary thing. Yeah. So like, sorry to that guy that actually went to the meetup. Yeah. It's probably happened to other people too that just don't know my
Girthmaster is
page.
not in New York. I mean, I think that some people get off on it in like a more twisted way, like this guy did. Like it came full circle and I was able to call him out on it. He was like, well, I'm obsessed with big dicks and I was getting off on you. And I'm like, that's twisted, dude.
That's weird, yeah.
But then I think some people also just want to feel, if they have a small dick, they want to feel like what it would be like to get that attention and praise.
Like in his defense, it feels pretty cool. Like, everyone should feel that at once.
So, yeah. interesting. But I have some better, it's really easy now. Like, just ask somebody for a thumbs up. Even if it's like next to their dick or like next to their, like, no, you can do it without the face to get proof that it's the person you think you are talking to.
Yeah, absolutely.
People do some crazy shit out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to chat about?
No, I think we about covered everything.
Cool. When's your flight?
5 p.m.
All right. Headed to the threesome.
Headed to Vegas. Yep, should be good.
Well, thanks for coming on Sex Talk Radio. You're haven't had a lot of dudes on here. I'm picky.
Thanks for having me. I'm honored.
Thank you so much for tuning into Sex Talk Radio. Please connect with us on social media. You can also learn more about my adventures and stories on my private Patreon. Go to patreon.com/sexymusings. That is SEGGSY musings.